Before you close your eyes tonight, remember this: there is a protection greater than your fears, stronger than your worries, and it's already been promised to you. Psalm 91 isn't just words, it's a shield, a covering, a quiet assurance that while the world sleeps, you are guarded. So as you lay down, release the weight you've been carrying. Let go of every anxious thought, because you are not alone in the dark. He is your refuge, your fortress, your safe place. Tonight, as you pray these words, believe that no harm will come near you, no fear will take hold of you, and no shadow will overcome you, because divine protection is standing watch over your life even while you sleep. Trust in God's protection is not just a comforting idea, it's a decision you make, especially in the quiet moments when your mind starts to wander and your heart feels a little uncertain. Tonight, as everything slows down and the noise of the day fades, you're faced with a choice: to hold on to your worries or to place them in hands far stronger than your own. Trust begins right there in that small but powerful moment of surrender. It's not about pretending that problems don't exist. It's about believing that they don't have the final say over your life. There's something deeply human about wanting control. You think through scenarios, try to predict outcomes, and carry burdens that were never meant for you to hold alone. But trust in God's protection asks you to loosen that grip. It invites you to step back and recognize that you are not the one holding everything together. Even when life feels uncertain, even when answers don't come right away, there is a steady, unshaken presence watching over you. That protection doesn't flicker with your emotions or weaken with your doubts. It remains constant. Think about how many times you've made it through situations you once thought would break you, moments when fear felt overwhelming, when the path ahead seemed unclear, yet somehow you came out on the other side. That wasn't luck. That was protection. That was guidance you may not have fully seen in the moment, but can recognize now when you look back. Trust grows when you start connecting those moments, when you realize that you've never truly been alone, even when it felt like you were. Trusting God's protection also means learning to rest, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. It means allowing your mind to quiet down without replaying every worry or imagining every possible outcome. When you lie down tonight, trust says, "I've done what I can for today, and now I release the rest." That kind of rest is powerful. It's not weakness, it's faith in action. It's believing that while you sleep, things are still being worked out in ways you cannot see. There will be nights when trust feels easy, when peace comes naturally and your heart feels calm. But there will also be nights when it's harder, when anxiety tries to creep in, when doubts whisper louder than your faith. In those moments, trust isn't about feeling strong. It's about choosing to believe anyway. It's about reminding yourself that protection isn't based on how you feel, but on who is watching over you. Even when your thoughts are restless, His presence is steady. Trust also reshapes how you see fear. Fear often tries to convince you that you're vulnerable, exposed, and unprotected. But when you truly trust in God's protection, fear loses its power. It doesn't disappear completely, but it no longer controls you. Instead of letting fear dictate your peace, you begin to stand firm in the belief that you are covered, that no unseen danger has authority over your life. That shift changes everything. It turns nights of worry into nights of quiet confidence. Another part of trust is letting go of the need to understand everything. Not every situation will make sense right away. Not every question will have an immediate answer. But trust says you don't need to see the whole picture to believe that you are safe. It's like walking through a dark path, knowing someone trustworthy is guiding you. You may not see every step clearly, but you know you won't be led astray. That's what it means to lean into divine protection. As you prepare to sleep tonight, trust becomes something deeply personal. It's in the way you close your eyes without fear. It's in the quiet prayer you whisper, even if it's just a few words. It's in the decision to let peace replace anxiety, even if just for a moment. You don't need perfect faith. You just need a willing heart. Trust grows in those small, consistent choices to believe that you are being watched over, cared for, and protected in ways beyond your understanding. And here's the truth: you don't have to earn this protection. It's not something you achieve through perfection or lose because of mistakes. It's given freely, rooted in a love that doesn't waver. That means even on your hardest days, even when you feel undeserving or distant, that protection is still there. Trust simply opens your heart to receive it. So tonight, let trust settle into your spirit. Let it calm your thoughts and steady your breathing. You are not facing the night alone. You are not unguarded or forgotten. There is a presence surrounding you, a protection that doesn't sleep, a peace that stands watch even when you cannot. And as you rest, let that truth carry you quietly, gently, and powerfully into a place of deep and unshaken peace. Release fear and anxiety is easier said than done, especially when your mind feels crowded with thoughts that won't slow down. As the night settles in and everything becomes quiet, those thoughts often grow louder. You replay conversations, worry about tomorrow, and carry questions you don't have answers to. But tonight invites you into something different. It invites you to let go, not because everything is perfect, but because holding on to fear is exhausting and you were never meant to carry it alone. Fear has a way of convincing you that it's protecting you, that if you keep thinking about every possible outcome, you'll somehow stay in control. But in reality, fear drains your peace and steals your rest. It keeps your body tense and your heart unsettled. Anxiety does the same. It fills your mind with what ifs and worst case scenarios that haven't even happened. Releasing fear doesn't mean you ignore reality. It means you stop giving fear the authority to control how you feel and how you rest. There's a quiet strength in choosing to release anxiety, especially when it feels justified. Maybe today didn't go as planned. Maybe there are things waiting for you tomorrow that feel uncertain or overwhelming. But tonight is not the time to solve everything. Tonight is the time to breathe, to pause, and to remind yourself that you've done enough for today. You don't need to carry tomorrow into your sleep. You don't need to figure everything out right now. Letting go starts with a simple shift in your thoughts. Instead of asking, what if something goes wrong? Try asking, what if things work out better than I expect? Instead of focusing on what you can't control, bring your attention to what you can. Your breathing, your present moment, your decision to rest. Fear lives in the future, but peace lives in the present. The more you bring your mind back to now, the less power anxiety has over you. It also helps to be honest with yourself about what you're feeling. You don't have to pretend that everything is fine if it isn't. Acknowledge the fear, recognize the anxiety, but don't let it define you. You can say, I feel anxious right now, but I don't have to stay in this state. That awareness is powerful because it separates you from the emotion. It reminds you that fear is something you experience, not something you are. Releasing fear is not a one-time action, it's a process. Some nights it will feel easy, like a weight lifting off your shoulders. Other nights it will take effort. You might have to remind yourself again and again to let go, to breathe, to relax. And that's okay. Progress doesn't mean perfection, it means choosing peace, even if you have to choose it multiple times. One of the most calming things you can do tonight is slow your breathing. When anxiety rises, your breathing becomes shallow and quick, which keeps your body in a state of tension. But when you take slow, deep breaths, you send a signal to your body that it's safe to relax. Inhale slowly, hold for a moment, then exhale gently. Do that a few times and you'll start to feel your body loosen, your heart rate settle, your thoughts soften. It's a simple act, but it creates space for peace to enter. Another important part of releasing fear is learning to trust that you don't have to carry everything by yourself. There is a higher care, a greater presence that sees what you cannot see and handles what you cannot control. When you hold on to anxiety, it's like trying to manage everything on your own. But when you release it, you're acknowledging that you're supported, that you're not alone in what you're facing, that trust allows your heart to rest. Sometimes fear is tied to past experiences, moments that didn't go well, situations that left a mark. Your mind tries to protect you by expecting the worst again. But tonight is not the past. You are not the same person you were then. You've grown, you've learned, and you've made it through more than you realize. Releasing fear means not letting yesterday's pain control today's peace. As you lie down tonight, imagine placing every worry, every anxious thought into invisible hands that are strong enough to hold them. You don't need to carry them into your sleep. You don't need to solve them before you rest. Let them go one by one. It might feel unfamiliar at first, but with time it becomes natural. Your mind will begin to associate nighttime with peace instead of worry. And remember, peace is not the absence of problems. It's the presence of calm in the middle of them. You may still have things to face tomorrow, but you don't have to face them with a restless mind and an exhausted heart. By releasing fear tonight, you're giving yourself the strength you'll need for whatever comes next. So take this moment seriously. Let your shoulders relax. Let your thoughts slow down. Let your heart feel safe again. You deserve rest that isn't interrupted by worry, sleep that isn't filled with tension. Fear doesn't need to follow you into the night. Anxiety doesn't need to sit beside you as you close your eyes. You can leave them behind right here, right now. Tonight, choose to release. Not perfectly, not all at once, but sincerely. Let go of what you can't control. Let go of what hasn't happened. Let go of the weight that's been pressing on your mind. And as you do, allow peace to take its place, quietly, gently, and fully, so you can drift into a night of true rest. Divine presence through the night is something you don't always see, but it's something you can learn to feel quietly, deeply, and personally. When the world around you grows still and the noise of the day fades away, there's a different kind of awareness that begins to rise. It's not loud or overwhelming. It's gentle, steady, and reassuring. It's the understanding that you are not alone even in the silence. Tonight, as you prepare to rest, that presence is already near, already surrounding you, already aware of every thought on your mind. There's something about nighttime that can make you feel more vulnerable. The distractions are gone, the lights are dim, and your thoughts become more noticeable. But what if you saw the night differently? What if instead of a time of uncertainty, you saw it as a time of closeness, a moment where divine presence feels even more personal because everything else is quieted down? In that stillness, you're not left alone with your worries. You're given an opportunity to experience a peace that doesn't depend on circumstances. Divine presence isn't something that comes and goes based on how you feel. It doesn't disappear when your faith feels weak or when your thoughts feel scattered. It remains constant even when you're not fully aware of it. Think about that for a moment. There is a presence that doesn't sleep, that doesn't drift away, that stays with you through every hour of the night. While your body rests, that presence continues to watch, to guard, and to surround you with a quiet kind of care. Sometimes people expect divine presence to feel dramatic or overwhelming, but more often it shows up in subtle ways. It's in the calm that replaces your anxious thoughts. It's in the gentle feeling of safety as you close your eyes. It's in the way your breathing slows and your body begins to relax without you forcing it. Those small moments are not random. They're signs that you are being held in a space of peace that goes beyond your understanding. As you lie down tonight, you don't need to strive to feel this presence perfectly. You don't need the right words or a perfect mindset. Just being aware is enough. Just acknowledging, even quietly, that you are not alone is powerful. That awareness begins to shift how you experience the night. Instead of lying there with a restless mind, you begin to settle into a sense of companionship, a feeling that someone is there with you, not in a physical sense, but in a way that reaches deeper than what you can see. There's also comfort in knowing that divine presence understands you completely. Every worry, every fear, every question you've carried throughout the day, it's all known. You don't have to explain it perfectly or try to make sense of it before you rest. You can simply exist in that presence as you are. That kind of acceptance brings a level of peace that's hard to find anywhere else. It removes the pressure to have everything figured out and replaces it with a sense of being cared for just as you are. Through the night, when your mind drifts between thoughts or when you wake up for a moment in the darkness, that presence hasn't gone anywhere. It's still there, steady and unchanging. Even in your unconscious moments, when you're not actively thinking or praying, you are still covered. That's something worth holding on to, protection and care that doesn't depend on your constant awareness, but continues regardless. This presence also brings a quiet kind of strength, not the kind that feels forceful or intense, but the kind that steadies you from within. It reassures you that no matter what tomorrow brings, you won't face it alone. That confidence begins to grow when you consistently remind yourself of it. Night after night, as you become more aware of this presence, your fear begins to fade and your trust begins to deepen. You might not always have a clear explanation for what you feel. Some nights it may simply be a sense of calm you can't fully describe. Other nights it might feel like a quiet reassurance in your heart, and sometimes it might just be the absence of fear where fear used to be. All of that is part of experiencing divine presence. It meets you where you are in ways that are personal and real to you. As you prepare to sleep, allow yourself to lean into that awareness. You don't have to chase it or force it, just receive it. Let it settle over your thoughts, your emotions, your entire being. Let it remind you that even in the darkness, there is light surrounding you in a way you may not see but can trust. And here's something important to remember. You don't lose this presence when the night ends. It doesn't disappear with the sunrise. It carries into your morning, into your day, into every moment you step into. But at night, when everything is quiet, you have a unique opportunity to notice it more clearly, to feel it more deeply, and to rest in it more fully. So tonight, as you close your eyes, don't just think about sleep. Think about being held in something greater than yourself. Think about being surrounded by a presence that doesn't leave, doesn't weaken, and doesn't fail. Let that thought bring you comfort. Let it calm your heart and quiet your mind. Because through every hour of this night, in every moment of silence, you are not alone. You are seen, you are watched over, and you are gently carried into rest by a presence that remains with you, steadfast, peaceful, and always near. Safety and peace while sleeping is something everyone longs for, yet it often feels just out of reach when the mind refuses to settle. You lie down, hoping for rest, but your thoughts keep moving, your body stays tense, and true peace feels distant. But tonight can be different. Tonight is an opportunity to experience a kind of safety that goes deeper than locked doors or quiet surroundings, a safety that settles within you and allows your whole being to finally rest. Real safety isn't just about your environment, it's about what's happening inside you. You can be in a quiet room and still feel restless, or you can be in uncertainty and still feel calm. That's because peace begins internally. It's the quiet confidence that you are okay, that you are covered, that you don't need to stay alert or on edge. When you carry that understanding into your sleep, your entire experience changes. Your body loosens, your breathing deepens, and your mind begins to slow down naturally. One of the reasons sleep can feel difficult is because your mind thinks it still needs to watch over things. It replays situations, anticipates problems, and tries to stay one step ahead of anything that could go wrong. But that constant alertness robs you of rest. Safety and peace come when you give yourself permission to stop guarding everything. You don't need to solve every issue tonight. You don't need to be prepared for every possibility. It's okay to rest. It's okay to be still. There's a powerful shift that happens when you consciously tell yourself, I am safe right now. Even if your day was stressful, even if tomorrow feels uncertain, this present moment can still hold peace. Safety is not about controlling the future. It's about recognizing that in this moment you are allowed to relax. When you repeat that truth to yourself gently and sincerely, your body begins to believe it. The tension you've been carrying starts to release little by little. Peace while sleeping also comes from letting go of emotional weight. Sometimes it's not just worries about the future, it's feelings from the day that haven't been processed. Frustration, disappointment, or even quiet sadness can linger beneath the surface, keeping your mind active. Instead of pushing those feelings away, acknowledge them. Let them be there without judgment, and then slowly allow them to pass. You don't have to carry every emotion into your rest. You can set it down for the night. Your body plays a big role in this as well. Notice where you're holding tension. Your shoulders, your jaw, your chest. Gently release it. Let your shoulders drop. Unclench your jaw. Take a slow, deep breath and feel your chest expand. Then exhale softly. These small physical actions send a signal to your brain that it's safe to relax. They create a pathway for peace to enter, not just in your thoughts, but throughout your entire body. Another important part of feeling safe while you sleep is trust. Trust that you don't have to stay in control every second. Trust that rest is not a risk. It's a necessity. When you trust enough to let go, even briefly, you open the door to deeper, more restorative sleep. It's not about ignoring reality. It's about recognizing that you don't need to carry it all at once. You can pause. You can rest. You can recover your strength. Sometimes peace doesn't come all at once. It comes gradually. It starts with a small moment of calm, a single deep breath, a brief pause in your thoughts. Then it grows. The more you allow yourself to lean into those moments, the more they expand. Before you know it, your mind isn't racing as much. Your body feels lighter, and sleep begins to come naturally. That's the process of peace. It builds quietly but powerfully. It's also important to create a sense of comfort around you, whether it's the way your room feels, the position you lie in, or the simple act of closing your eyes with intention. These small things matter. They tell your mind that it's time to rest, that you are in a space where you can let go. When your environment supports your inner calm, it becomes easier to settle into sleep. As you lie there tonight, remind yourself that you deserve this peace. You deserve a break from overthinking, from stress, from constant alertness. Sleep is not just a physical need, it's a form of renewal. It restores your energy, clears your mind, and prepares you for a new day. But that restoration can only happen when you allow yourself to feel safe enough to truly let go. And here's something to hold on to. Even while you sleep, you are not vulnerable in the way fear tries to make you believe. You are not exposed or unprotected. There is a quiet covering over your rest, a sense of safety that continues even when you're not aware of it. That truth allows you to release the need to stay alert, to finally give in to the rest your body has been asking for. So tonight, as you close your eyes, don't carry the weight of the day with you. Don't let your mind pull you back into worry. Instead, choose to settle into peace. Let your breathing slow. Let your thoughts soften. Let your body sink into rest. You are safe. You are allowed to be still. And in that stillness, peace will find you, not forcefully, but gently, guiding you into a night of deep calm and uninterrupted sleep. Faith over every unseen danger is not about denying that risks exist. It's about refusing to let fear of the unknown control your heart. There will always be things you cannot see, situations you cannot predict, and outcomes you cannot fully prepare for. That's part of being human. But faith steps in where certainty ends. It allows you to stand firm even when you don't have all the answers. And it gives you a quiet confidence that you are not at the mercy of everything you don't understand. So much of fear is rooted in what you can't see. It's the what-if thoughts that creep in when everything is quiet. What if something goes wrong? What if something unexpected happens? What if I'm not prepared? These thoughts can feel real, even overwhelming, but they are built on uncertainty, not truth. Faith shifts your focus. Instead of magnifying what could go wrong, it centers your heart on what is already secure, your protection, your purpose, and the presence that surrounds you, even in the unseen. Choosing faith doesn't mean you'll never feel afraid. It means fear doesn't get the final say. It means that even when a thought tries to pull you into anxiety, you gently but firmly bring yourself back to trust. You remind yourself that just because you can't see what's ahead doesn't mean you are unguarded. There is a covering over your life that extends beyond your awareness, beyond your vision, and beyond your understanding. Think about how often unseen things actually work in your favor. You don't see the air you breathe, but it sustains you. You don't see the processes in your body while you sleep, but they restore you. In the same way, there are forms of protection and guidance happening that you don't notice in real time. Faith is believing in those unseen realities, even when you don't have visible proof in the moment. At night, this becomes especially important. Darkness can make the unknown feel closer, more present, more intimidating. But darkness doesn't mean danger. It simply means you can't see as clearly. And that's where faith becomes your anchor. It reminds you that your safety is not dependent on your ability to see everything. You don't need full visibility to be fully protected. You don't need complete understanding to be at peace. Faith over unseen danger also changes how you respond to intrusive thoughts. Instead of entertaining every fearful idea, you begin to recognize them for what they are, possibilities, not promises. You don't have to give them space. You don't have to follow them down every path. You can let them pass, knowing they don't define your reality. That's a powerful shift because it puts you back in control of your peace. There's also a deep sense of freedom that comes with this kind of faith. When you stop trying to anticipate every possible danger, you release a huge mental burden. You're no longer trying to predict and prevent everything. Instead, you're trusting that whatever comes, you will not face it alone. That doesn't make you careless. It makes you grounded. It allows you to rest without constantly scanning for threats that may never appear. Faith invites you to rest your mind just as much as your body. It tells you that you don't need to stay alert all night, that you don't need to guard every moment. There is something greater watching over you, something that doesn't get tired, doesn't get distracted, and doesn't miss anything. While you sleep, that awareness remains. While you rest, that protection continues. You are covered, even when you are not conscious of it. Sometimes building this kind of faith takes time. If you've been used to worrying, to overthinking, to preparing for the worst, it won't change overnight. But every time you choose trust over fear, you strengthen that faith. Every time you let a fearful thought go instead of holding on to it, you create more space for peace. It's a process, but it's one that leads to a deeper sense of calm and security. You might not always feel strong in your faith, and that's okay. Faith is not about perfection, it's about direction. Even a small decision to believe that you are safe, that you are protected, that you are not alone is enough to begin shifting your mindset. Over time, those small decisions build into a steady confidence that doesn't easily shake. As you lie down tonight, remember that unseen does not mean unprotected. Just because you can't see what's ahead doesn't mean you are exposed to harm. There is a presence that goes before you, surrounds you, and stays with you through every moment. That truth is stronger than any fear your mind tries to create. So when a worried thought tries to rise, meet it with faith. When uncertainty tries to make you restless, respond with trust. Let your heart settle into the belief that you are covered in ways you cannot measure, guarded in ways you cannot fully understand. Tonight, choose faith over fear. Choose trust over uncertainty. Choose peace over restless thinking. Let go of the need to see everything clearly and instead rest in the assurance that you don't have to. You are not navigating this life alone, and you are not left unprotected in the unseen. And as sleep begins to take over, let that faith carry you. Let it quiet your thoughts, relax your body, and ease your mind, because even in the unknown, even in the unseen, you are held, you are safe, and you are deeply, quietly protected.